It's the NFL on EA Sports. And coming up, it's the Commanders' lengthy corner, who's stating his place among the league's best with 6 picks this season. It's the Commanders and the Giants, next on Madden Football.
Well, this building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and CD, you look at Washington coming into play here. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, but not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up. And then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we...
On 1st and 10, Driver. He's got his man downfield. It's Robinson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 32 on the play. Well, how about a deep ball on the first play from scrimmage, putting that secondary on notice?
Brandon, all I remember when I was a player is that we always took a test the night before the game about teams' tendencies and what they plan to do. I'm not sure we think deep ball right out of the gate and putting us back on our heels.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Over the middle into the hands of Burks. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes, they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time, he uses quickness to make a play.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And this one's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. Yeah, they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. On 3rd down, Driver. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. The numbers for him from a week ago. A boatload of carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
How about the first month of the season for him? He leads the league in rushing, so his confidence is at an all-time high, which means his offensive line loves it too. They'll get more opportunities to run block for him.
14 yards that time for number 14.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run the option left. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
They'll run this one right with Robinson. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Fighting Hilton on the slant. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll run with Robinson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr. his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good work after the catch, going to net them 23 and a first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. He finds his man, complete. That's Pearson. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They'll try and run the option. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Robinson up the middle. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call. They're opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
This fielded right at the goal line. New York set to take the field. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll try to run the option here. And he coughed it up. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And this one will be brought back to the 22. We figured they'd come out with intensity and aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball, and they have an early turnover to show for it.
They lived up to their reputation. That's who they are. They want to attack on every play, even though they're playing defense. And you're exactly right. Force the early turnover, and now they'll try to attack again and again throughout the game.
Robinson on a give right side. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Back to Gibson, and another catch for him. No gain on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They begin with a run by Barkley. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Driver. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Brian Robinson Jr. making his way back onto the field. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach or offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12. He'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 41-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll go with the option. Coming right. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 24-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On the give, here's Robinson. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Second and 1. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. It's their cornerback. hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Back to throw. Driver. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Driver. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, the Dolphins have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Here's 2nd and 8. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 35. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember?
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr., career touchdown number 136, tying him with Marshall Faulk for 7th on the all-time list. And the Commanders continue to pull away here in this 1st half. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. And the Giants ready to come out now. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, oh, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Set to go again. Here's Brian Robinson, the Commander offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Handoff now to Robinson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he gets it down to the 32.
Holding offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays where the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. I don't want to take that course.
97 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
That's how you get right up off of the mat because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Robinson with another carry. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. Wide open receiver complete. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll look to throw. Throws the out route, and he finds Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, you have to be aware defensively that you've got 2 goals because obviously you're trying to prevent the touchdown, but you're also trying to keep it from getting a first down as well. That time they weren't up to the task, and it's 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Robinson. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Again, it'll be Robinson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Stonewalled on 2nd down. Now let's see what they can do on 3rd and goal from the 2. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Chase Claypool. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A 10-play drive that time. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Now the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Looking to throw on second down. Driver. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On first down, Driver. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start with a matchup of two teams who played a memorable Thanksgiving snow game back in the 80s. Miami on the road to take on Dallas. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. The Dolphins locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, let's head to New Jersey. The Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. The Jets looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. The Vikes trying to hold on and claim victory. With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Giants. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's been no contest in terms of the rushing yards. You see a much, much brighter picture there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
6 yards there on the keeper at second down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Robinson, he'll try the left side. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on third. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Throwing to start the drive. Driver gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
To throw on second down. Driver. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Back to throw. Driver. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. 125 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards there and a Washington first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Again, it's Robinson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 17-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to throw again. The quick slant caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping.
And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Robinson trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Robinson again. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. His third touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Commanders just continue to roll. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon, and this time, he had the speed to win that race.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And now out come the Giants.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Operating from the gun. Driver. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
A 41-yard punt there with no return.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
13 yards there on a Washington first.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
They'll run with Gibson.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. This offense, number 1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, That means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 15-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And the Commanders are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Robinson will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He'll drop to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Robinson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr. taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Commanders are pouring it on. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes before the snap. They called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and he got the job done clearing the way.
The try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
Eluding the... And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Chase Young able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Driver. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Davis. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. So here's Washington now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They begin the drive with Robinson.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
On 3rd down, they're going to go with the option.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
New York set to take the field.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Throwing to start the drive. Driver. This one caught by Davis. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Driver. And he's got his man on the out route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Throwing on 1st down. Driver. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Again, he'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. The Giants on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for New York. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. This has kind of gone past that. I think we're in historic territory right now.
You nailed it. Historic territory. Perfect phrase for what we are watching. If this were a movie, what kind of rating would we put on it? Who would you allow to watch what we're watching right now? Let's hope this one gets over fast, because this game, well decided a long time ago.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Straight ahead, Gibson. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. To the 27-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
They'll run this one right with Robinson.
Down to the 25.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, Robinson.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And the Giants ready to come out now.
It's been a tough go for them. Still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board? So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw. Driver. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They'll look to throw again.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
The Washington offense set to take over. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And he stopped immediately there. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He'll look to throw.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Washington going to send out their punter
as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Now it's Peterson. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And now out come the Giants.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, my goodness, CD, I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Back to throw here. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick-6 for a Washington touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Point after try forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing after the interception, Driver. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Driver. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
Yeah. See what I did there?
Yeah. He needs better protection, that's for sure. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Back to throw. Driver. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Right where this setting down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Under pressure, and down he goes. multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Dances by him, and the Commanders come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So for Washington, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.